right-hander. Throws very hard. His battery mate is Paul Works behind the plate. Over third base, Jeff Nelson. Shortstops, Jeremy Ortiz. Mike Caston over there at second base, scooping him up. Throwing over to the first baseman, Matt Mamla. In the outfield, Kevin Emmett will be in left. Jose Mercado in center. And Justin Hornsby in right. Dare County All-Stars, as I said, will be at the plate first. They are in the virtual same uniforms we saw a couple of years ago. For those of you that haven't seen them or can't get here to see them, it's kind of like the white Yankee home pinstripes for the britches with blue socklets, blue tops with the red numerals in Dare County across the front. And they also have their names on the back of the jerseys, which is a nice touch as well. One of the few teams that have that. So there'll be no mistake about who we're seeing when they're at the plate as well. And they got the numbers on the front. That's what I love as an announcer, too. No question about who's where. We don't have to search around.
And although it's called the Dare County team, you should be...
Bat 6, Rodney Harris for bat 7. Harris playing shortstop. David Spencer batting 8th. He's playing in right field. And Nick McLaughlin will round out the starting batting lineup at the second base spot. Rodney Walker steps in. First pitch from the right-hander Moore is a strike to start the fourth game. Quadruple header here tonight. And we're off and running. Looking for a good matchup here between these two teams. And a strike is called on the second pitch as well, as Moore's getting the job done, wants them to swing the bat. If they can get on base, they're going to have to earn their way, is what he's saying so far. This one is hit towards the second baseman. Caston makes a play on it, up with it, over to first to Magua, and he's out with it.
And even though he was thrown out going to first base, he's given some confidence to the next man up in the box.
To hit the ball, no question. Which is no small feat in this series.
You're not kidding. These boys pitching on this mound is good baseball players. One of the things we've noticed in this game, as in the previous games, everybody so far playing straight away. They haven't seen these teams play. They don't have a scouting report.
And the biggest player on the Dare County team insofar as height is concerned, Justice Bobbitt will step in. He's a right-handed batter facing the right-handed pitcher. Moore fires a strike in there. He's thrown nothing but strikes so far. All fastballs as well, which is not unusual to see in the early going, making sure you get some strikes across, get over the nervousness, and get it going. Trying to curve, didn't curve, almost threw it to the backstop. So for the first ball to Justice Bobbitt. And the crowd, which is filed in and getting ready to enjoy some good baseball, getting behind them. You hear the Dare County team over here to the right really chattering it up as they're all on the top step of the dugout. Here's a pitch on the outside corner, not called for a strike. In fact, it's a ball, and so it's 2-1.
Bobbitt is keeping a real close eye on William Creek.
Speaking of calling balls and strikes, it's Corby King behind the plate tonight. Cooksville, Tennessee. This one's a swing and a miss for strike 2. It's kind of fooled on the curve there, pulled the string on him. Ray Fastich is over at first base, by the way, Ken. Rick McGuire's at second, and Jack Chavis is at third tonight. So the 2-2 pitch here on the way to Justice Bobbitt. Right down the center of the pipe for a strikeout.
And Justice knew it. No argument, moved on.
So we have 2 up and 2 down so far. And I'll tell you, we're talking about 80-mile-an-hour pitches, 85-mile-an-hour pitches. That had to break 90 there. That baby was humming. You know they're fast when they actually rise when they come to the plate. That thing was moving.
I've only seen it on a few occasions.
Jamie Bonnet coming in now. He's the third baseman for the Dare County team. The right-hander in the back of the batter's box looks at a curve and almost hits him in the head for ball 1.
That curve doesn't always break.
No. Well, he's throwing that fastball good, but the curve isn't quite working for him so well.
How much does the humidity affect their pitching, Tim?
I think it's hard to keep your hand warm as he fires a strike, and it's a fastball once again. I think that's the main thing, I would say. You see the rosin bag behind there. I would say we're going to see a lot of that over the series, trying to keep those pitching hands dry. Here's a pitch on the outside corner, and he stands there like a statue, does the umpire, Kirby King. He doesn't give it to him. Couldn't have missed by 1.5 inches, but nonetheless, it's a ball. So it's 2-1 here in the top of the first inning. And here comes the pitch. Same place, same call, but fast. Yes, he's bringing it. 3-1. The count now. Moore wasting no time. Wearing an unusual number for a pitcher, wearing number 44 out there. You might see that for a relief pitcher, but not usually for a starter. Very confident, walks around. Here comes a 3-1 pitch, and it's called a strike. So we go to a full count for the first time this evening. 3-2 against Jamie Bonnet. Toby Lewis on deck, hoping for a chance.
Bonnet was headed to first.
And you're going to get Chris Moore thinking about it again. Well, there you go. Boy, you made a great point there. He is drying his hand. Walking off the mound because you can't go to your hand when you're towing the rubber. So here he comes with a 3-2, 2-out pitch. He hits a high fly ball, but it's going to be in foul territory. Is there a play over there from third baseman Nelson? He overran it, came back, and landed in the foul area. So just a long foul strike.
There was a play.
Yes, indeed. It kind of came back in. I think he may have lost it in the lights, actually.
Very well could have. There's a set of lights right over to our right side, which would have been in perfect line with where he was looking as that ball was coming down.
So we'll try it again. 3-2 the count here. 2 outs, top of the first. No score, of course, as Dare County's at bat. This one's fouled high again. This one down the first base side. Almost an identical type play. And it's in the dugout area. He's not going to get any help from the Dare County players, of course. And it goes harmlessly out into the stands. As Matt Mamwa kind of looking over there saying, guys, you could help me there. No way, they're not going to get any help.
And the catcher, Paul Wirtz, complaining a little bit, protesting a little bit, not for long.
Yeah, well, he's actually giving the umpire an earful right now. But that dugout is not, they're not entitled to that area there. So I mean, they're supposed to, I guess, clear a path for them. But guys are just kind of standing there on the first step, not moving.
Willing to sacrifice themselves for that.
So again, 3-2 count now for the third time coming to Jamie Bonnet. And it's a fastball, swing and a miss, strikeout, and the side is retired. So 3 up and 3 down for the Dare County team as we're in the top of the first here, and you're listening to the 1998 Babe Ruth World Series.
Cable or satellite, you'll get it August 15th. This Sunday, the new Fox Family Channel feel the heat of Leonardo DiCaprio. Your Leo Hollywood Leo unauthorized story. Korean Pacific, it's the Spice Girls in concert. Hot, scary, big, sporty, and even ginger. Leomania this Sunday at 5. The Spice Girls in concert this Sunday at 6. Only on Fox Family Channel. If you have cable or satellite,
corner. He threw it right where he wanted to, but he didn't get the call. So a ball. 2-2 the count. Chris Moore on deck. He's the pitcher, of course. Then just
Terry, can you turn me off a little over that duct tape?
Here's the 2-2. Striking out looking.
The crowd likes what they've seen here. Old slow breaking curve ball. Beautiful job.
That's what the local team needs.
This one isn't long enough.
Ken Hooks is one of the players from Mantua.
And here's the right. After getting through that first inning, 1-2-3 with 2 strikeouts, he looks at a ball. This one's tapped over to the shortstop. I say tapped. The ball.
Some more?
Right.
Yeah.
Trip hooks. Here comes another pitch. That one's inside and a strike. So he set up outside and kind of fooled him, didn't he?
Yes, he
Came
did.
right back in there, and he's like, wait a minute. What's going on here? So 2-1 the count. Now 2 away, bottom of the first inning. Hooks, winds, and deals. Curveball right in there. Good pitch. Just froze Hornsby there. And so 2-2, 2 out. He's got a strikeout pitch. Here it comes. The wind up. And this one's on the fist across the third baseman. Shortstop's there. Harris makes the throw, but it's not going to be in time. Goes to the fence, but Lewis quickly there to back him up. So sure they'll call that a hit. Right over the outstretched arm of the third baseman, Jamie Bonnet. Rodney Harris was virtually in left field by the time he picked it up, and really no chance there for a throw out. So the first hit of the ball game goes to Hammond, Indiana's Justin Hornsby. That brings up Matt Mamois.
Hornsby was running so fast down to first he couldn't make the turn, even after he realized the ball was overthrown. He had seen the work of Rodney Harris at shortstop already.
And this one's right up the middle. Another base hit. He really got around that fastball quickly. The hold at second as it got to the center fielder in a moment. Justice Bobbitt throws it right back in to hold him to a first and second situation with 2 out here in the bottom of the first inning. Matt Mamois is actually the correct pronunciation there, I'm told. So apologies to him and congratulations to him at the same time for getting a hit. So first and second, 2 out here with Jeff Nelson coming up now. He's playing third. And another right-handed batter for the Ohio Valley Region Champions, Hammond, Indiana Chiefs. This is a curveball in there for a strike. That's working well for Tripp so far.
Tripp's looking from that stretch position now as he takes a look at the runners, particularly second base.
This one curve, it didn't quite, yes it did, catch the corner.
The umpire behind home plate is just a little slower than you are tonight.
Yeah, well, you know. And so the 0-2 pitch coming here now. It's thrown him all curves so far. Let's see what he got this time. Fastball outside corner, a little short. Man's trying for third, and they're going to let him have it. He got away from Lewis just that much, and it was enough to get Hornsby over to third. So I guess you judge that a wild pitch to get him over to third there. Mamois stays at first base.
Hooks would like for this to be his last pitch of this inning.
Exactly. Here's the 1-2 pitch coming. Hooks working from the stretch once again. Looks the runner back. Now comes to the plate. Right on the outside corner. He is not going to get that call, is he? He has thrown it that spot 3 or 4 times now. And it looks good. But it's not a strike, evidently, tonight. Not tonight. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Curveball outside to run the count full, 3-2.
And pretty much headed in the same spot. A little bit further out that time, a little more obvious as a ball.
Trying to get him to chase something there, which they're not. So Jeff Nelson, the third baseman, looking at a 3-2 count, 2 outs. Runners will start. And a strikeout ends the inning for Dare County. And the entire team comes out of the bench to give Hooks high fives as he gets out of a jam in the bottom of the first. Still no score as you're listening to the 1998 Babe Ruth World Series on the Win 97.1 and Carolina 92. Toby, the catcher, comes in with a .355 batting average. Looks at the right-hand pitcher against the right-hand batter here and looks at a ball in the outside corner. See, Moore looking for that same pitch that Hooks was looking for. He's not going to get it either.
Same spot.
Got a strike that time, so 1-1 the count now.
And Lewis was swinging for the fence.
Yes, indeed. He's in there close, leaning forward. This one's driven. First hit of the ball game for the Dare County team as he gets it to left field, and Kevin Emmett comes up with it, throws it in to keep him to a single.
Ball kind of had a little tail, hooked right around there, and slipped over the shortstop's head, falling right in between Cortez and Emmett.
So now Tripp Hooks, who just pitched out of a jam, would love to keep the momentum going here. He's had a good time with the bat, too. Hitting .385. He's hit 2 home runs, 7 doubles in the preparation for this tournament. Looks at a fastball on the outside, comes up a little low. You hear that kind of dirt and skin combination there as the catcher works, makes a nice play to stop it.
Again, the big advantage of these catchers here on an overthrown ball is this backstop is so close.
Yep.
Compared to what they're used to playing.
This one low and outside, so Hooks quickly ahead. 2 balls and no strikes. And coming up on deck, I gotta wonder what's going through the head of David White. He was the bat boy for Hammond, Indiana 2 years ago. This one's fouled away.
How about that? Becoming a way of life, this Babe Ruth World Series for him, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Seeing all his buddies, knows the coaches and everything like that. Here he is playing against them tonight.
And I'll bet they won't cut him any slack.
No, I bet they don't give him a hit or anything. So 2 balls, 1 strike. This one's right down the pipe. 2-2.
Trip Hooks knew it, too.
Yep.
But it was too late.
Well, he's making an earning. So 2-2 the count. Hooks steps out, looks over third base, Coach William Creek. It's Lee Creek down there at first base as it goes off the end of the bat. It's going to be a tough play for the third baseman. Nelson up with it, makes the throw in time. Nice scoop there by the first baseman, Matt Manuel, to record the out. Base runner does get over to second. Toby Lewis moves over on the fielder's choice. But it's out number 1.
It's just a little harder than a bunt.
Yep.
And a beautiful catch over there on first. Manuel could have just as easily bobbled that throw.
Oh, yeah.
Really pulled it up out of the dirt.
Nelson was just coming full steam. He had only one chance. Pick it up with his bare hand and throw it. That's just what he did. So here's now the first left-handed batter of the ball game is David White, who steps in and looks at the right-handed Chris Moore. This one's driven out to left center field. Emmett should have a play on it. Moving around now and makes the play for 2 away. So White got under that a little bit for out number 2. And Rodney Harris will come up now, the shortstop.
And again, the Dare County team is hitting the ball. They're not scoring runs at this point, but they're hitting the ball. If you keep hitting the ball, eventually you'll get men on base, and eventually you will score. And a lot of times a coach will leave a pitcher in. If the team's not scoring against them, they'll leave them in even though they're hitting.
That's right.
And you can set yourself up for a 1 home run in a game this tight. That can be it.
You can go south in a hurry.
You're not kidding.
So Chris Moore, who's primarily had success with a fastball tonight, is out there with 2 outs against the Dare County team now in the top of the 2nd inning. And base runners on second. Giving up his first hit of the night now. And he throws the ball now to Rodney Harris.
That's a chest-high ball. That's the one that a lot of tall men like to go for.
Oh, yeah. Harris moving around with that bat in the batter's box. Looks at a ball on the outside corner, and the pitchers are not getting that call tonight from that home plate umpire.
Strike zone is small tonight.
Inside corner's looking good. Outside corner, not happening. So here comes the 2-0 pitch. Outside corner again. I could tell you what that is, right? Another ball every time.
It's going to have to cross the plate, not just the corner, I'm afraid, on that side.
He also sets up on the inside shoulder of the catcher, which has a lot to do with that, too.
He does, and both Wirtz and Lewis move to the outside. Watch it.
So ball 4 is given to Rodney Harris. That does 2 things, thought process here working. One is you got to have it inside to get a strike. Number 2 is it leaves himself vulnerable to a foul tip. But you don't see that very often from umpires. They will usually follow the catcher wherever he goes for protection as much as anything else. But those catchers set up in the outside corner. He's standing still. And I'm sure he's caught more than a few foul tips.
I expect they've called a few games to get to this point.
Indeed. So 2 away still now, but 2 base runners for Dare County. As stepping in is David Spencer, the right fielder.
Spencer got just a little bit of it.
He's a 98 grad of Currituck County High School, batting .290 coming into this tournament. He had a foul tip for strike 1. This is a curve ball that doesn't, and it's ball 1.
Actually, Tim, I think he's going to call it a strike.
Oh, yeah, okay.
After second thought.
Yeah, excuse me, that's on the inside part of the plate. So 0-2. And here comes the payoff. Swing and a miss. So he's out of the inning. Although 2 base runners get on, there was 1 hit. There were no errors, and 2 men are left. So at the end of 1.5, it's still no score between Dare County and Hammond, Indiana. You're listening to the 1998 Babe Ruth World Series on the Win 97.1.
Comes to the plate with Emmett Wirtz and Ortiz. Did I pronounce that properly?
I'd say Ortiz.
Ortiz, okay.
We'll have to ask him. But Emmett's in there first.
That we're sure of.
Trip Hooks got through that first inning throwing 19 pitches. His 20th is a strike. Kevin Emmett. No changes out there defensively for the Dare County team. As you've pointed out, rightfully so a couple of times, there's another called strike in there on Emmett.
is that this early in the series, all the teams pretty much playing straight away. And the infielders, the only adjustment I've seen. A lot of times they're running in on third base side or whatever. And the Dare County third baseman playing in right now, Jamie Bonnet.
Hook's still looking for that outside corner.
Didn't get it. 1-2. Good pitch to try it on. Ahead 2-0, or 0-2 rather. This one's tapped over to the third baseman. He can't get it. Shortstop comes up with it. Harris over to first. In time. Making sure he had the ball. David White stretched his frame all the way out and made the play.
He may have pulled a joint or two out on that.
I couldn't have done that.
Man.
Oh, boy. He was 5'11" beginning of the game. I think he's about 6'2" now.
And the crowd loves it.
Yep. His dad, Tim White, down there leading the cheers.
The crowd loves it when the ball's hit, and they love a good defensive play. The ball has to be hit to get the crowd going, doesn't it?
Yes, indeed. Yeah. Purists enjoy a pitcher's duel, but most of the folks like to see that bat hit the ball. And ball one now to Paul Wirtz, who steps in now.
Is that like an auto race without a wreck?
Hard fastball in the outside corner. Does not get called for a strike. So 2 balls and no strikes now to the number 7 batter for the Hammond, Indiana Chiefs. Stands up there very erect. And this one's tapped off the plate. Here's the shortstop. Walker again with a chance. Throws it on an easy play to David White. So the shortstop has had an opportunity in every ground ball so far. And Jeremy Ortiz, the shortstop, steps in now. Once again, another right-hander. And strike one is called. So I'm not sure what I said there, but Rodney Harris is who I meant at shortstop.
He's working hard out there for the Dare County team.
Yes, he is. He's doing a great job. That one was ripped down the third baseline, but no worries. It's a foul ball. So 2 strikes quickly now on Ortiz. And Hooks is 1 strike away from getting through this inning in fine fashion.
Field is in good shape after 4 games.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Doesn't get the call.
Same spot. Maybe we should move that plate over a foot.
And now Trip Hook's 11th pitch of the inning on the way. The 1-2, swing and a miss, strikes him out, and that's the end of the inning. So no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on at the end of 2 complete. Still no score between Hammond and Indiana. Holy Toledo.
Close. My. Of course, the folks from the Albemarle Hospital are providing all the medical facilities and personnel here at the World Series this year as they did 2 years ago, and it's mighty good to have them here. You feel comfortable knowing you've got that kind of assistance if you need it right here at the park.
That's quite a trophy to bring home. Not knowing how they'll do the rest of the week, we can say, I get the trophy for playing, and here's my scars from the appendix operation. Oh, Lord. So Nick McLaurin steps in now. The number 9 batter for the Dare County team will be the leadoff man here in the 3rd inning. No score. A strike one count on him. He taps this one off the plate. It'll go foul, so take strike 2 very quickly on him.
McLaurin is from Paquimins County?
I believe so.
Good-looking ball player. And picks up the catcher's mask and hands it to him. I think that's the first time I've seen that this evening.
How about that?
Southern hospitality.
There you go. All the way around. So here comes the 0-2 pitch from Moore. This one's kind of fisted, but going to peel away and hit the top of the dugout on the home side.
Matt Manuel didn't expect much help from the dugout that time.
He wasn't looking for it, was he?
He didn't get it the last time, so he didn't expect it this time.
He knew he was on his own. And Paul Wirtz talking to the umpire about that. You see how he shakes his head. You know, can't always make it out when the catcher. If you see the way he's shaking his head, you know he's talking to him. This one's knocked toward the shortstop. Third baseman's going to cut him off. Nelson up with it. Over to Manuel, and he's out.
Nice play there by the third baseman, Jeff Nelson. Second nice play he's made. So McLaughlin's retired 5-3.
Nelson covers a lot of ground over at third base.
Yes, he does.
But again, Dare County was able to hit the ball.
And so Rodney Walker gets his second chance of the night. He grounded out to the second baseman in the first inning to lead the game off. As you said, started the momentum to say, hey, we can hit these guys. Ooh, inside, strike. Oh, he's leaning back out of the box.
I wasn't sure it didn't hit him. Of course, he's playing. He's standing in there pretty close, or he was. I don't think he's going to stand as close this time.
No.
If that's going to be a strike, I'm going to back up a little bit.
Exactly.
And you know, you do need to learn how the umpire's calling the game when you're batting.
This one's high. Ball one. I was just looking out there. We're talking about the way the players play him. I tell you, Jose Mercado is not respecting his game right now. Playing a very shallow center field. This one outside. Ball two.
He's not too far behind second base.
No, he's not. He's about 20 paces behind second base right now. He's got easily 30, 40 yards behind him.
It's like a roaming outfielder does in a softball game.
And that one's going to make him pay. It's a deep drive to right field. It is off the fence. He's around first. He's on his horse toward second. He's going for it. And he's going to stop at second. He absolutely nailed that ball. Carried all the way to the 340 mark and hit the middle of the fence. And now right fielder Justin Hornsby and center fielder Jose Mercado having a little words about coverage on the play there.
If you look into the crystal ball, no sooner did we talk about how close he was playing in behind second base, and he had to start pedaling back, and it just wasn't enough room or enough time.
It was too far. He had to make up 60 yards on that play. And the
well-hit ball.
Right fielder certainly wasn't going to do it. So Dare County in business now with their second hit, their leadoff man taking a lead from second base. One away here as Justice Bobbitt steps in. He struck out looking first time up, but Bobbitt has been the leading hitter on the team coming into this tournament. 488 average with 21 hits, including a home run and 7 doubles. This one's low. And ball two.
Bobbitt has had a good career with the Manio Redskin baseball team.
Oh, and all athletics, really. Basketball as well. Good kid. Working 3 jobs this summer as well. Here comes a 2-0 delivery with Walker taking a lead on second. They fake the throw back down there. Nobody there to cover, so
we haven't seen Wirtz's arm yet.
No.
And we didn't see it that time, although he acted like he was going to let us take a look at it.
Well, if he had thrown it, we would have seen Walker's speed.
You're not
because he would have been hightailing it towards home. Infielders moving all around as the 3-0 delivery is outside, and we got 2 base runners for Dare County now as Justice Bobbitt gets the free pass, and he'll trot down to first base and make room for Jamie Bonnet.
Bonnet struck out his first time at bat, and I'm sure he'd like to make up for it right now.
Indeed.
We're going to have a little conference out on the mound. Looks like Wirtz and Moore are going to have a little bit of a discussion about the situation, and the umpire says time's up.
Still no score here. Bottom of the, or I should say top of the third inning. Between the host team, Dare County, and the Ohio Valley Region champions, Hammond, Indiana's Chiefs. Walker takes a lead from second. They bluff him behind him, and the ball comes in, and he gets the outside corner, Ken, believe it or not. Strike call.
And I think that's the first for this game.
That was kind of high, right at chest level on the outside, so maybe that makes a little bit of a difference. And then you hear the crowd encouraging Jamie. This one bounces up there. It's a ball.
Wirtz loses it in the dirt for just a few minutes, a few seconds. Kind of stretch that out a little bit.
So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Top of the third, no score. As Chris Moore, the right-handed pitcher, struggling a little bit here in the third. Misses outside once again. 2 balls and a strike.
They're not going to get a call on that outside corner.
Nope.
Bonnet is a senior this year at Manio?
I believe so.
so he'll play baseball this spring.
Yep. 444 is his average coming into the tournament.
It's pretty decent.
Second leading hitter on the team. That's a strike. He knew it. But you got to make him earn it. So 2-2. The count now to Jamie Bonnet.
Redskins with 2 men on first and second. There's nothing they'd like better than to have the bases loaded.
That'll take a good eye here for Jamie.
If it's close, he's got to swing.
Walker taking the lead on second. They bluff in behind him. Here comes the pitch outside. Runs the count full. So as we said last inning, Trip Hook's getting through the inning with only 11 pitches. Moore getting ready to deliver his 18th pitch of this inning. He's only got 1 out to show for it. Here it comes, 3-2. It's fouled away. Got around on it nicely.
Now, will he put the next one in, or we go back to the outside corner?
I think you got to bring it. This early in the game, you got to make them show you that they can hit your stuff. He's only had 1 hit there, really, that's of note. Here he comes, 3-2 once again. Right down, swing and a miss. Struck him out. So that's 2 away for Dare County. And brings up the cleanup hitter, the number 4 hitter, Toby Lewis, the catcher.
And we still got folks coming in. Good crowd tonight. I think we have more bleachers this year than we had last year. Look down on the far end, there's a couple of 100 seats down there that we did
down here on the right field line as well. Outside corner is a ball to Toby Lewis, who singled last inning and was left stranded. Lewis hitting .355 coming into the World Series. Oh, right inside. They chase him back to first base, and he's safe. But it's a throw down there to first.
Wirtz thought he had him.
Oh, Wirtz is really talking about everything.
And we took a look at Wirtz's arm, and it wasn't bad.
No, that wasn't too bad.
A little shorter to first and second, but not bad.
Yeah, Bobbitt kind of wandered off a little further than what he would have liked to there.
But that certainly breaks up Chris Moore's rhythm.
Yep. And a strike called on the outside corner.
It looked an awful lot like something we've seen.
Exactly.
That was strike.
He's loosening up. They said, well, keep trying it. Keep trying it. Maybe he'll give us a different opinion on it. Sure enough, he did. 2-1. 2 outs. Top of the third. High. 3-1. Now it gets fun. 3-1 pitch to your cleanup hitter. Got to be around the plate somewhere. Lewis is looking fastball on this. You got to know. Here it comes. High. Ball 4. Bases are loaded for Dare County.
But they'd like to have one of those outs back.
So Trip Hooks can help his own cause big time here.
We're going to have a conference on the mound. It looks like Sikowski is going to come out.
Yep, that's Dave Sikowski.
The coach, and in this case they refer to him as the manager.
Oh, yeah, well.
And they're going to have a discussion. Does it stay or does it go? Can you do it, son? That's the question.
You know, it seems like he's talking to more of his catcher and third baseman on placement and, or I should say first baseman and catcher. And communication about what they want here.
They want one out.
You got to rely on your defense here, I think.
Well, I'll tell you.
Don't be afraid for them to hit it. Let your defense make the play for you, I guess is what he's saying. Because he is throwing an awful lot of pitches here this inning.
Don't walk you.
Right. So Trip Hook steps in, bases loaded, 2 out, top of the third, still no score. This one's driven down the line. Is it fair or foul? And it's just foul. That would have cleared the bases. Wow. I mean, missed it by 3 feet on that right field line.
Tell you, the crowd knew it, and so did the other players on the left side of the field. You can see frowns from here. You know how I am.
Yes, I know.
One of the few people you can see across the ball field.
You're amazing.
I know. They were a little upset, I could tell.
So Trip Hook steps back in now. That's just a strike. So although the scoreboard says 0-0, it's actually 0-1. 2 outs. This one's high, so it's 1-1. David White on deck, hoping for a chance. Runners will take a nice lead here with 2 outs. We'll see. Is there a play on? William Creef, known to be an aggressive manager. Let's see. Outside. Fake the throw down to first. Nobody there to catch it, so not a serious attempt.
William has been at this a long, long time. He's never been conservative that I can remember.
Yep.
I've always enjoyed watching to see what he was going to try next.
And it's interesting, although Lee Creef is the manager, he defers to his dad at third base coach to call the signals.
I'd like to see the Dare County team.
This one's driven high. Fly ball to left center field. Looks like they've got room out there. Center field.
Oh, God.
One run is in. Here comes Bobbitt. He's going to score. Here comes a play at the plate. It's no good. 3-run score for Dare County. And he's still running. He's going to third. The bases are cleared on a 3-base error. Jose Mercado, the man I referred to earlier about playing a poor center field. That ball was the left fielder's ball all the way. He called him off, and he missed the play. And 3 runs are on the board for the host team.
And the crowd is on its feet.
I'll bet you.
And I can see that from here. And they are frowning over in the other dugout. Wow, baseball, a game of inches. The 2 of them came together, and they evidently were not communicating. One thought the other one had it, and when it came time to reach it, was just a little bit too late. The runners for the Dare County team were really on their toes.
Sure.
And they were actually tagged up, to give you an idea.
Those 2 outs, so they were running on anything that was hit.
So as soon as he hit the ball, they were going.
Yep. Walker was standing at home plate, watching the play. So 3-0 Dare County. And boy, what does Chris Moore got to be thinking now? The coach just came out and told him rely on your defense, and he did. And he shouldn't have. So a big error on the board, scores 3 runs, and a runner still on third in the person of Trip Hooks.
Come on now, Dave.
He doesn't get credit for the RBI, but will take the 3 runs. And here comes the 2 out, 1-1 pitch. It's high, 2-1. David White flied out to left field last time. And Mercado, the center fielder, shading him towards right field this time.
They are moving a little bit now.
Yep, they're figuring him out after the first time around. Emmett playing shallow.
Very.
He's the left fielder, by the way. 2-2. That one gets in there for a strike.
That was one of his best pitches of the night.
That was nice. Kind of slipped right in there. So deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Man on third, Trip Hooks taking a nice lead. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. So that ends the inning, but not before. The Dare County team scores 3 runs on 1 hit. There was 1 big error, and there was 1 man left on base. So at the end of 2 1/2, it's Dare County 3, Hammond, Indiana, nothing. You're listening to the 1998 thing that Coach Lee Creef said. He said the difference between 96 and 98, these boys can hit. We will score some runs.
We stood in the back and we were talking, and they said if they're going to win, they're going to have to hit the ball.
Fly ball pops up to the first baseman. First pitch by Mike Caston, and David White puts him away for out number 1.
They have a little area in the back for the press, and we were talking back there, and the general consensus was if they don't swing the bat, they don't have a chance.
Jose Mercado steps in now, the center fielder who would love to have that half inning back. He led a long drive. Well, you can't really give him an error on it, but I'd say lack of position as he swings on this one, goes to the third baseman. Bonnet makes a nice play, fires across, in time for the out.
And the crowd loves that as well.
That ball ate him up. Kind of went off his hands.
Well, I tell you, Bonnet has got an arm. Is he a backup pitcher?
Well, I think he can throw.
So Mercado struck out his first time at bat and then ground out. Brings up Chris Moore. He ground out his first time.
Yes, he did. And Trip Hooks already with 2 outs up on the board and 2 pitches thrown. Make it 3 now, as that one's a ball. And the right-hander, Moore, way back in the batter's backs. Looks at a strike. Doesn't get any better than that.
Had to call that a strike. It wasn't outside.
That was right down Peachtree. Trip hooks. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
Pitch was a little different.
Yep, has a little speed there. Pulled the string on a little bit, huh? And so his opposing counterpart, pitcher Chris Moore, stepping in with a 1-2 count. Rips this one down the line. It's a base hit. Going to go all the way out to the fence. No, it's going to get knocked down by Rodney Walker. He comes up throwing towards second. Not going to get there in time, though. It's a stand-up double for the pitcher, Chris Moore, who was very patient on that one and just found a little hole between the third baseman and the line there and knocked it down there for a double.
There was no way that Bonnet could have gotten to it or Rodney Harris. Pretty good hit ball.
So now Justin Hornsby will step in. He had a single his first time up, was left stranded at third base. That was in the first inning, of course.
And he called that one a strike, Tim.
He's adjusting his game to these pitchers, I guess, huh?
Evidently. But we'll take it.
Hornsby, big right-hander, holds that bat behind his head. Whoa, now gets hit. Or did it go behind him? Did it actually hit him, or did it go behind him?
Skimmed just the back of his shoulders. Seems like he's all right.
Yeah, that was a lot more inside than what he wanted. So jogging down to first base is Justin Hornsby after he's hit by a pitch. And David White, veteran teammate there of Trip Hooks, comes over from first base, says, shake it off. No problem. We still got him. 2 outs here, bottom of the third. 2 runners on now, though, in the persons of Chris Moore at second and Justin Hornsby at first, as the left-hander Manuel steps in.
And Manuel hit a couple out in the home run derby.
He won the home run derby, matter of fact, didn't he?
Got a real wide stance. You wouldn't think he could get the power that it takes to hit the ball out the way he stands.
Hits left-handed here against Hooks. Foul tip for a strike. 0-2.
But he's got a lot of speed on the bat, as you can see. For those of you that can't see, take our word for it.
Well, I can see. I thought you were just referring to me. So. 0-2 now. Hoping for a chance is Jeff Nelson. He's on deck ready to go. Trip Hooks, 0-2 count. Outside corner, doesn't get the call. Of course, this outside corner is the other side that he's been getting the calls on.
Toby Lewis was pulling for it.
But the umpire is consistent. He goes to that inside shoulder of the catcher each time. Swing and a miss. Foul tip, actually. Can't hang on to it, so this goes as a foul ball. 1-2 coming up again. It's kind of popped out of Toby's glove. Says, gosh darn it, I thought I had that. So we'll try it again. 1-2, 2 men on, 2 out, bottom of the third. This one's foul tipped again.
He's got him going for just about every pitch. That was a ball.
Yeah, it was. That was in the dirt, it looked like, as a matter of fact. He fouled it back to the backstop, though.
He's got his eye on it, but not quite there. Now he's really in there tight. He's choking up and getting close.
And Hooks working from the stretch. Deals. Fires it way out right field. Spencer on his horse, going towards the wall. And off the glove of Justice Bobbitt, the center fielder, who can't make the play. 1 run is in. Coming around third is Hornsby. And going into third now in a stand-up is Manuel, who will go in for a triple there as 2 runs are scored on that long fly ball. I say a hit. I'm not sure how they're going to score that. We'll watch and see. Be a tough error, but
Spencer and Bobbitt had to both run as hard as they could to even get to that ball.
They call it an error, though. It was in the glove of Bobbitt. I think he'd admit he'd like to have it again. So it goes as an E8, a 3-base error. So errors have played prominently in both teams' scores here tonight. 3 runs scored on an error for the Dare County team, and now coming right back in the bottom of the third, Hammond gets 2 runs on an error. So it's 3-2, just like that with 2 outs, and Hooks faces Jeff Nelson now.
And there's nothing that Hooks would like to do any more than to set Jeff Nelson down and end this.
Once again, no RBIs on the play. Runs batted in, that is.
As he continues to work on that lower right-hand corner of the plate.
He misses again, so it's 2 balls and no strikes. And this one's right on that outside corner for a strike. So 2-1. This one's driven to center field. Bobbitt looks like he has a play on it. Moves a couple of steps and puts it away for out number 3. But not before Hammond scores 2 runs. They had 1 hit. They left 1 base runner on, and there was 1 big error. So at the end of 3 complete now, it's 3-2. Dare County on top of Hammond, Indiana, as you're listening to the 1998.
The 4th inning, Mr. Capital.
And Dare County back at it here. Will start the same way they started last inning, with Rodney Harris leading off.
Could this be a game where the team with the least number of arrows wins?
Could be.
Because the ones that have been committed have been costly.
Actually, I take that back. Nick McLaughlin led off the last inning, but anyway, Rodney Harris in there now, and he looks at a strike. To start the 4th inning.
No.
Against Chris Moore, who's still in there, the big right-hander, working his 4th inning. This one's hit over towards the 3rd baseman. Up with it is Nelson. Takes a step, pulls him off the bag, but does make the play for the first baseman, Matt Mamuwa. For out number 1.
Nice defensive play.
He really covers a lot of ground.
Yeah, he does a nice job over there. And Manuel does a good job on first.
Well, that's the thing we've seen today, and certainly 2 years ago, just the fundamentals are so solid. I mean, you know, to the extent of the catcher running down to back up first base, and, you know, any play from the outfield, the cutoff man always in perfect position. It's just the best of the best. What can you say? The 1-0 count coming. It's low. 2-0.
Spencer struck out his first time at bat this evening.
It's David Spencer. Not sure if I announced him. The right fielder in there now. And Moore's 2-0 offering is high. 3-0. So Spencer will be looking very closely on this one, being the number 8 hitter. Do you think that bat's not going to move an inch off the shoulder?
Not much.
Yep. Strike. So 3-1 the count now. He'll probably have a little more free rein this time. He chokes up on the bat a little bit. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, tapped over to William Creef, who's in foul territory.
Good pitch to swing on. He got around on it real well.
Yes, he did. A little too much, actually.
Good speed on the bat. Moore has pretty good control, but he's not the fastest pitcher we've seen this evening.
So here comes the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss by Spencer. Struck him out. That'll bring up Nick McLaughlin, who did start the trouble last inning. He actually grounded out to the 3rd baseman, but he led off that inning. It resulted in 3 runs for the Dare County All-Star team. And McLaughlin, as we indicated, a rising senior for Clements County High School.
And a possible chance of a lifetime here to come out and play in this Babe Ruth game. Not many young men get this opportunity.
He looks at a ball. Now he gets it off the fist over to the 3rd baseman. Tough play for Nelson. He cannot make a play, as a matter of fact. Going to be an infield hit for him.
You know, that's a better part of wisdom there, too. There's a separation between those with the experience and those without. A lot of involved ball players would have tried to make that throw on the run and possibly overthrow it and had a man on second.
On second with 2 out, right, and the leadoff. And the umpire's waiting for him to have a little word with him. Oh, and now we're going to have Sutkowski come out and talk to him, the manager, Hammond, Indiana, and he's waiting for him. And he's satisfied with the answer, so right back he goes.
He actually tagged him late after he already passed by.
Results in there, and it goes by the 3rd baseman out into left field. So 2 runners on with 2 out now.
Walker with a nice hit up between Jeff Nelson and Jeremy Ortiz. Brings up Bobbitt again, who has struck out once and walked once, but certainly has the ability to hit the ball.
Yes, he does. The leading base hitter on the team coming into the tournament.
And let's have a new ball, says Chris Moore.
Doesn't like that one.
Change your ball, change your luck.
Bad karma on that ball. Set an error, result in a base runner, and now a base hit immediately afterwards. So those last 2 pitches didn't work out too well. Bobbitt looks like he's choking up on the bat a little bit this time with 2 outs.
Needs a hit.
Here in the top of the 4th. 3-2 the score. Dare County on top of Hammond, Indiana, and a strike is called against Justice Bobbitt.
One of the fastest pitches that Moore has thrown this evening.
Yeah, he seems to have slowed down as times go on. He really was on his game in the 1st inning. That was brought with some authority.
2 in a row.
So 2 strikes now, but he really labored in the 3rd inning.
And
it's almost like the weight of the world on his shoulders there in the 3rd, trying to do it all himself.
Bobbitt will swing anything close this time.
Oh, he didn't, and he's called out on strikes. So that'll do it. No runs for the Dare County team. There was 1 base hit, there was 1 error, and there were 2 men left on. So at the end of 3.5 innings, Dare County still on top, 3-2.
Going to bring up Emmett, Wirtz, and Ortiz for Hammond, Indiana. No changes on the defense.
Dare County is going to be, if this thing gets in doubt, they're going to be thinking about these last couple innings. They've got 5 runners on base in the last 3 innings.
Wow.
Didn't cash them in there. Ball, and now here comes another ball here to Emmett. As Hook's kind of stretching out, trying to get loose here at the bottom of the 4th inning. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. This one's tapped right back to him. Up with it, waiting for David White to get to first base. He lobs it over to him, 1 away. So he goes out 1-3. Brings up Paul Wirtz, who grounded out to the shortstop in the 2nd inning.
And at this point in the game, it would be to Hook's advantage not to throw too many pitches in the 4th inning.
Well, he's been on his game. There's just no 2 ways about it. 46 pitches through 4 innings. Curveball in there. On the other hand, for instance, Moore threw 31 pitches alone in the 3rd inning. He's up there around the 70 count already. Here comes Hooks, 0-1. Driven to center field. Looks like Bobbitt might have it measured. Coming in on it now. Plenty of room. Makes the catch.
Ortiz struck out his 1 and only time at bat so far. These fellas batting a couple of times in this game. At this point, we've had a couple of games already today where some of the fellas had batted 3, maybe 4 times by the 5th inning.
And we've already got a change here, Ken.
What's coming up?
Eric Zetas?
Zetas, yes. Okay. Is he coming in for Jeremy Ortiz?
So Eric Eddies.
Eddies, is that how they said it?
That's how we're saying it now.
They told me last night it was Zetas. For the banquet. I hope I got it right in the banquet.
Okay.
He was there.
These are nice, polite young men from Hammond, Indiana. No, I'll correct you. As he lines it to right field and calling Mr. Base Hitter there as he really inside outed that one for a base hit. And he's on first base with 2 outs.
There was some method to the madness, wasn't there?
I'll say. Mr. Sitkowski trying to shake things up and get something going for his team. And Eddies does it for him. So Mike Caston will step in now, the number 9 hitter, who's playing second base. He kind of hit a little lazy fly ball to first base this time up.
Toby Lewis looking hard over there at first base to keep Zetas on. Edis.
Chased him back over the first base, but
didn't quite hold on to it, but it fell in front of him anyway.
That's right. David White had it measured. So Caston has a ball on him. 2 outs here, bottom of the 4th. Taps off the bound and cannot make the play. Well, actually again, I was going to say Trip Hooks can't make the play, but the shortstop, Rodney Harris, comes out of nowhere and throws him out.
Like the left legs back him.
Holy mackerel. Didn't he? So Caston is put away 6-3, and that's it for the Hammond Chiefs in the 4th inning.
Finding out, Tim Cameron.
And it's interesting to see as the different teams come here from around the country, their different philosophies and the different strategies of how they warm up and how they take infield and so ever like that. I'll tell you, Paul Sitkowski's, or Dave Sitkowski's strategy is to confuse everybody in between innings. He puts 12 players on the team, on the field to warm up, catching and whatever like that. And it's like, how do you figure out who's going where? Anyway, he's made a pitching change. Zetas, who was just in the game to hit, is now pitching. And the former pitcher, Chris Moore, is over at shortstop now. And I think that's the only change we have. Jeremy Ortiz comes out of the ball game.
Well, Ortiz had done a great job over there in that shortstop's position.
Really been scooping him up. But we had seen Eric Zetas warming up. And sure enough, he comes in now to pitch. So he is on a 1-2 count now as we get ready to start this inning with Jamie Bonnet. And it's high. 2-2.
Dare County team would surely love to put some more runs on.
This one's outside. 3-2 the count now.
As we mentioned earlier in the game, the team's called the Dare County team because this is the host area, but the players come from Manteo, Northeastern, Perquimans, Currituck, Bertie, Camden, Columbia. Pretty good representation from Northeastern North Carolina.
This one swung on, hit to the third baseman. Nelson up with it, fires to first in time to retire Jamie Bonnet.
Bonnet pretty quick on his feet. One more step.
So Jamie not enjoying the success he'd like to have tonight. Struck out twice and now is grounded out. But Toby Lewis having a good ball game. He is 1 for 1. He has a single. Also walked in the 3rd inning and later scored the 3rd run for the Dare County team. And they are staked to a 3-2 lead here. This is a strike right down the middle.
The Steamers, is that not the team name for the team from Edenton? Edenton Steamers?
Yes, I think right.
That he played with?
The Coastal Plains League. This one's driven to left field, way back against the wall. Goes Lewis's ball. Wrestling around is Kevin Emmett trying to chase it down. He finally gets it, but not before. Lewis goes into second base, standing up with a ripped double right down the line.
There was nothing that Kevin Emmett could do but backpedal, turn, and run. And he didn't have the time or the speed. A beautiful hit ball by Toby Lewis. Trip Hooks had a triple his last time at bat.
Actually, a 3-base error.
Yes, you're right.
How he scored out.
You're exactly right. That's how he ended up on third.
That's right.
The two ball players in the field, one of the two of them should have had it.
Yeah, well, I thought the left fielder had the call there, but the center fielder called him off and overran it. Went right by him. So it's been the game of errors. 3 runs for Dare County scored on an error. 2 runs for Hammond, Indiana scored on an error, which has been the exception rather than the norm today. We had excellent defense played in all the ball games. As Trip Hooks steps in, facing a 1-ball, no-strike count now. And just a little outside, 2 balls, no strikes.
Edis seems to have a little more on it.
Yes, he does. Moore was really kind of all over the place there in that 3rd inning. Struggled with 31 pitches.
Although he throws to the same corner. He's had several pitches to the lower right side, but it looks to me like it's coming a little bit faster. We had one of the guns from downstairs. I think more scouts here this year than 2 years ago, Tim.
I think you're right.
Every major league team I can think of just about's got a man down there.
And that's a strike on the 3-0 count. So Edis has dug himself out of a hole. That closes the book, of course, on Chris Moore, who moves over to shortstop. He gave up 3 runs, 4 hits, through 69 pitches in those 4 innings, and Trip Hooks draws the walk. So that creates, from Hammond, Indiana's standpoint, a double play possibility at any base. Force out at third, second, or first. And David White will step in. He flied out to left field his first time up and struck out swinging in the 3rd inning. And he'll look to get an RBI with a base hit here. Left-hander. Only one on the Dare County squad, at least in the lineup anyway. Justin Hornsby over in right field, slipping over just a little bit for him, but not a lot because of his last time at bat. So the 1-ball, no strike count, 1 out here, top of the 5th, is outside. 2 base runners on, and the persons of Toby Lewis at second and Trip Hooks at first. This series is a double elimination World Series, and just because any team can have an off night, a good pitcher can have an off night. So both of these teams will have a chance to play again. This one's driven. It's going to be a base hit. Is it deep enough to score? Is the question as the player comes up with it, fires it in quickly, and cannot score. As Kevin Emmett actually had that played perfectly. He was playing a short left field. David White got the base hit, but it wasn't deep enough to score. Coach William Creep held him just as soon as he came around. It wasn't even a second thought. He knew exactly what he was going to do. He would have been dead if he had come to. Ball was well thrown back into the infield. It got there too quick. This is the problem. It got to the left fielder in about 2 seconds. And he came up with it right away and was daring Lewis to take a run at it. So bases loaded now for the Dare County team. With 1 out. 1 out, and Rodney Harris coming up the bat. He has drawn a base on balls in the 2nd, and he grounded out to the 3rd baseman last inning. A deep fly ball would be good enough to score a run, I think. And he swings and misses. His intention was for it to go deep. Yes, and score all 4 runs, I think. Wow, what a cut. Almost screwed himself in the ground. Bases loaded here for Harris, who batting .345 coming into this tournament. The outside, low and fastball, does not draw a strike. 1-1 the count. You hear Jeff Brown, one of the coaches there for Dare County, saying, "You're the man. Come on." 1-1, 1 out, bases loaded. And it's low for 2 balls and 1 strike. This is where these pitchers, I was going to say earn their money, but obviously not. They're pretty cool in this situation. 2-1, bases loaded, and he's in a hole. Got a strike in there, but no. 3-1 the count as he just misses outside. A ball. Edis is in a hole. He's going to have to dig out. A ball would score a run here, so he's got to throw a strike. Walker, Harris knows he's got to throw a strike. So he's looking for a particular pitch here. If he gets his pitch, he's going to rip it. 3-1, bases loaded. Does not get the pitch, gets ball 4, and another run scores for Dare County on the base on balls. And Wirtz is going to have a couple of thoughts or a couple of questions for the umpire. Throws his hands up, going to walk out and have a dump with Zetas. He thought it was a strike. I tell you, he's frustrated, and David Sikowski is going to come back out to the mound. He says it was a strike. That's one thing. Slaps him on the back. Everybody's happy except the run score. Well, I'll tell you one thing here that was really surprising. I've been surprised by the attitude of this Hammond team. I know they're in a hostile situation, but there has not been a call they've been pleased with yet tonight. The center fielder's yelling at his right field. The right fielder's yelling over at the center field. The first baseman's yelling at the umpire. The catcher's yelling at the umpire. The pitcher's yelling at his first baseman. You know, haven't seen that in any other games tonight or today. Just play ball, boys. Umpire comes out and breaks up the meeting, and as you said,
Let's play ball.
4-2 the score. Dare County on top. And stepping in now, David Spencer, the number 8 batter. He's playing right field tonight, has struck out twice. But he's got a big opportunity here with 1 out, and the base is loaded, and there's a strike. Nick McLaurin on deck. Actually, no, pinch hitter on deck. So we'll see how that develops.
Well, he had words down in the dirt that time.
Jake Overton, 98 grad here, Emmanuel High School, ready to come on here if he gets something good going. 1-1 count. Outside. 2 balls and a strike. Boy, a base hit here would be big. Wouldn't be surprised to see the runners go.
And Spencer would like to redeem himself.
Hit over towards the third baseman. He's going to second for one. Pulls him off the ball, and he's safe. And the run scores as Trip Hooks comes in standing up.
Will Spencer get a hit for that?
No, sir. It's a fielder's choice. And an error.
And the momentum continues for Dare County.
So David White moves over to third base. Rodney Harris slips in there to second. And David Spencer is safe at first.
And McLaughlin, no, we've got
It's
Overton.
Jake Overton is in there now. And once again, a base hit here would be huge. And the right-hander deals. Fouled off by Overton. Strike 1. 2 runs across the plate. We've had 2 hits so far and 2 walks. And another big error. 4 errors in this ballgame, 3 of them on Northern Indiana. The Hammond Indians. Here comes the pitch. Fouled off again. Overton in the hole, 0-2 now.
He's just a little under each one of them.
Yep. And you see the body language here by Coach William Creef. Easy. You're okay. Look for your pitch. Of course, he can't now. He's got to make contact with anything that's close to foul it away. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bases loaded. Dare County on top, 5-2. Ball is outside for the first ball.
Infield playing in just a little bit.
Overton, the right-hand batter, stands in there tall. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And that's out number 2. That brings up the top of the lineup, Rodney Walker, who is 2 for 3 tonight. He doubled in the third, singled in the fourth. Grounded out to the second baseman to lead off the game.
Runners will be moving on contact.
Indeed. Hammond playing back, just looking for an out, not holding any of the runners. David White over at third. Rodney Harris takes the lead at second. David Spencer at first. Inside. Ball 1.
Had him turning and backing up just a little bit. Wasn't willing to take that one for the team.
And the 31st pitch of the evening is a strike.
And it was coming.
For Edis. Heard that snap. That's got to hurt your hands. And the 1-1 pitch. Hit down the line. Let's go. One run is in. Around third. Here comes the second run in. It's going to be safe at second as he goes in sliding for a double. 2 more runs across the plate. And Dare County has come to play. It's 7-2.
And if you're within a reasonable distance of the field, you can probably hear the crowd. You don't need the radio. They're all on their feet. What a great night for the Dare County All-Stars.
So now Justice Bobbitt will step in.
And if Bobbitt is successful, we will be batting around. Bobbitt swings hard.
Rodney Walker having a big night. 2 doubles and a single. Had the first 2 RBIs of the night for Dare County there. The others all scored on errors, bad plays. That was nothing bad about that play. Ripped it down that right field line. He's at second. Over at first, David Spencer. And a strike called. 1-1 the count now on Bobbitt.
It was a good pitch, too.
Yep. Nothing wrong with that. Runners take their leads. The 1-1 pitch. Check swing. Didn't go. They appeal to first base. Close. Ray Faustich says, nope.
It was close.
So 2 balls and a strike now. 2 outs. You said runners going on any contact. Edis high and inside. 3-1. Jamie Barnett on deck. He started us out here.
Runners taking a big lead now.
High. Bases are loaded again.
Jamie Barnett. Jamie would like to do something, make a contribution. Struck out a couple of times, ground out once. He'd like to taste a little bit of this.
Well, as I said, he's second on the team in hitting coming into the ball game. 444. He's had a home run, a triple, 7 doubles. Any of those would be just fine right now. 7-2 the count. Dare County's put up a 4 spot here in the 5th inning. To stretch their 1-run lead to 5.
How about Dare County's pitchers now? They've been sitting a long time. What impact will a long inning like this have on Tripp Hooks?
Well, I think, Tripp's had his share of running to do, so he should be still heated up. Strike called right down the pike there, making him earn his way. Eric Edis on the mound. Lines and deals. Back to him towards the shortstop. Up with it to second base for the 3rd out on the fielder's choice. But not before. Dare County scores 4 runs on 2 hits. Tripp Hooks in there, still pitching for Dare County.
Dare County's game with Nederland, Texas, if they can hold on to this lead, would be at 4 p.m. tomorrow.
This one's hit down the line, peeling off foul for a long strike.
We'll actually start our coverage at 1 o'clock. The team from the Midwest Plains will take on the Pacific Southwest. At 4 o'clock, it will be Southwest against the winner of this game we're in now, Dare County or Ohio Valley. And at 7, Southeastern Nashville, Tennessee will take on the Eastern North Carolina State champs. So we've got a full day of baseball for you tomorrow as well.
Give him a line of cards straight here as the ball is lifted over to right field. Coming on is Spencer, and he makes the play. 1 away.
We've got a couple of changes out there, Tim.
Yep, Jake Overton's over at second base. That's it. Nick McLaughlin's out of the game, of course, as he was pinch hit for in that inning. Tripp Hooks still pitching, though, pitching hard, too.
Moore has ground out and doubled so far in his 2 times at bat. That was right close to the mic. Yep. For those of you wearing headsets with Walkmans, you can feel it like we do.
Sorry about that. 7-2. Dare County on top of Hammond, Indiana.
Trip Hooks has really done a good job here tonight pitching for this Dare County All-Star team. In his Babe Ruth League experience this summer, Tripp has gone 3-1 for the Dare County team.
1-2 is the count on Moore.
One kind of bounced up there. Here comes that pitch. It's going to be lifted over to right. Spencer coming on, trying to make a diving grab. Can't. Ball gets away from him. He's going towards second. He's up with it now, throwing it in there, and he is safe at second is Chris Moore on a little seeing eye double over to right field.
Spencer seemed to misjudge the ball. He slowed down and stopped and then realized it was short and then made his dive. And he actually probably could have kept running and come up underneath of it, you would think. Of course, the lights at this point in time are playing a role in this game. And that was high enough to be in the lights.
I know he's not going to make any excuses, but right around that area is a sprinkler head. And a possibility he tripped.
Could be.
Sure. There's low profile ones, but they do dip in the ground a little bit. As the next batter, Justin Hornsby, he takes a ball. This one's over to the third base. Past Jamie Bonnet. Here comes the runner around third. Up with it is the left fielder, Walker, and they will not test his arm.
Boy, Walker really made a great play there. Bonnet hesitated. He just hesitated for 1 second. And when he did, the ball was by him. The ball was hit too hard and too fast to hesitate. So we've got a man on first and a man on third now for Hammond, Indiana. 1 out.
This ball game isn't over. Dare County sure doesn't think it is, but they need to certainly bear down now as Hammond looking to get right back in it after giving up 4 runs in the top of the 5th. They're in business here with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th and 2 men on. First and third, 1 out. This is the kind of time you'd usually put a play on if you were going to do something, like a hit and run or double steal or something like that.
Lewis looking down the line to Bonnet checking the runner.
This one's fouled away. Got good contact on it, but lifted it up to the left-hand side of the stands.
Every once in a while, the aluminum bats sound like a wooden bat.
Yep. So they hit a little further down on the barrel that way. This one's fouled away as well. That was in on the barrel, too. Into the Dare County dugout.
Huh?
Nick McLaughlin makes a nice play on it, throws it back into play.
What?
The Trip Hooks is ahead of him.
Oh, I don't know.
And he's worked ahead of most everybody. He's only been behind about 4 hitters tonight. He has been on his game.
I don't know.
Here comes the 1-2 pitch with 1 out, 2 runners on for Hammond, Indiana, and he'll step out and call time.
Manuel would like to be the man.
Here comes the swing and a miss for a strikeout. Got him inside. That brings up Jeff Nelson. Nelson, the third baseman, will step in and bat right-handed against Trip Hooks with 2 out now in the bottom of the 5th inning. And the Dare County team will continue to hold the runner at first. Now David White sneaks in behind him, and they'll lift it to right field. Spencer looks like he's got it measured. He does! And Dare County's out of another game in the bottom of the 5th inning. No runs on 2 hits. There were no errors, and 2 men were left on. So at the end of 5 complete now. Bedtime for a few folks. I think some of the folks had to head on home and get in the shut-eye.
I'm Ken Mann along with Tim Cafferty, and Dare County's back at the plate.
And here we are in the top of the 6th inning. At the plate is Toby Lewis, who's been the man tonight for Dare County. 2 hits, a single and a double. He's also drawn a base on balls. Scored twice. He's 2 for 2. Ball goes to the outside, so it's 1-1. We talked about Dare County leading runners on base. Hammond, Indiana's got to think about that too. They've left 5 runners on base here. Or 6 actually total. One and 2 on the swinging miss.
Oh.
And now 2 and 2. So that one misses outside. Trip hooks on deck.
And they're backing up for Lewis a little bit this time, playing a little bit deeper. Center field not too much deeper though.
He doesn't lack for confidence, does Mercado, as Lewis swings and misses and strikes out. Edith settling in a little bit more this inning.
And the fans in the stands like trip hooks. Walked his last time at bat. But Zetas is not going to have anything to do with that, as that first pitch is really right down the middle and high.
He is through 41 pitches in that last inning to get through when Dare County put up 4 runs on the board. Trip hooks took several of those pitches. He had a base on balls, as you said. Scored a run. And here he is facing a 1-1 count. Swing and a miss. He is much more confident this inning, it would appear.
Kind of double pumped on that one, didn't he? Pumped that leg a couple of times. Really lifted it up high. Came through with a lot of speed.
You know, although Dare County has 6 hits, they now have 10 strikeouts, and the catcher drops it, so he'll have to throw down to first for the putout. But 10 strikeouts now for Dare County as Trip Hooks swings and misses there, and then the putout goes 2-3. David White now steps in. David singled his last time up. He's 1 for 3. He's also flied out to left and struck out. Don't feel bad. Just about everybody else has struck out tonight against this Hammond team, too. As it's been feast or famine for Dare County. He takes the ball. Ball 1 with 2 out now in the top of the 6th. And a 7-2 ball game with Dare County on top.
Didn't Babe strike out a lot?
Yes, he did.
But when he hit it,
I still think that's a record he holds. Most strikeouts. Maybe Hank Aaron may have taken that away from him. And that's what happens.
my dad lived up in the New York area when Babe was playing, so every time he went to the game, Babe struck out. Stay home, listen to it on the radio, he'd hit a home run.
Now they've got will be, of course, busy tomorrow night. But tomorrow night on HBO, they've got a tribute to the Babe with Julia Ruth Stevens,
who was here with us a couple of years ago.
And I hear she may be here this week as well. Maybe 3-1 to count. But here's something you may not have known. Tomorrow night would be 50 years to the day of the Babe's death.
No, I didn't know that.
7-2 is the score here. 3-2 the count is a swinging miss there by David White. And he'll certainly be looking for something close to hit here.
He needs it to stay alive.
And it's outside. And he is alive.
Rodney Harris is one of the few men that has not struck out.
That's right. Only he and Rodney Walker haven't struck out tonight for Dare County. These Hammond pitchers are tough, although they have given up 7 runs. Only 2 of which are earned runs, which is no consolation prize when you're down by 5 on the board. And Harris takes a mighty swing and a miss.
Question for you, has Hammond shown us their best pitchers?
Well, I think so. I don't think you hold anything back in the World Series. I think you go with your best. Although, of course, thinking back 2 years ago, Jeffrey Parsons wasn't the best for Nashville, but he certainly worked out to be the best before the week was over. And a wild pitch will send White down to second base as Pearl Wirtz couldn't hold on to it, bounced up there, tried to stop it, and got away from him a little bit. He's now going to clean some dirt out of his eye. And the count is 1-1 on Harris. David Spencer looking for an opportunity. He's on deck.
Scoreboard just went out, friends. Something clicked and it was gone. I guess it blew a breaker.
I heard a pop. Here comes a drive. It's well out there in the gap. It's going to score at least once. As he's coming around third, David White will score standing up, and he'll just be held to a single, which means a great play by the defense out there. I thought he was going for 2, if not 3 on that, but David White on his horse, never even close to being gotten there, and it is now 8-2 on the 7th hit of the night for the Dare County All-Stars.
About a 320-foot single.
Yes.
That's the longest single of the night. No question about the fact that McCardo could have brought it on into second without any difficulty. And Spencer's speed as he rounded first was not right there. So probably the wise play was to hold up.
Excuse me if I flinched there as that ball looked like
you didn't flinch as bad as the photographer hanging over the fence over there.
I'll bet.
He like to swallow that Nikon.
This one's fouled away too by Spencer, so he's in the hole 0-2 now.
Gene and I were talking earlier, we have more press this year than we've ever had, I think, as far as other radio stations, newspapers. Home Team Sports is coming again for television broadcast. AP's been calling in. It was in USA Today. The Babe Ruth World Series has moved way up in the world of sports.
Comes the 0-2. Right down Peachtree, but he did not get the call. Little high.
More and more people following Babe Ruth in the World Series every year.
And rightly so. Exciting games.
Well, what's happening is, just as we've seen here, these ball players are moving into the college leagues and playing professional baseball. And people start saying, hey, they're doing a good job there. And I think he dropped his camera, Tim. Pen, just his pen. He's the kind of fellow you want to take to the zoo with you to take pictures.
I'm not sure his conduct is within OSHA standards right now. He's hanging off a railing there taking pictures. This one's tapped over to the third baseman. Tough plays. Nelson's up with it, though, over to first in time for out number 3. But not before Dare County scores a run on 1 hit. There were no errors, and there was 1 man left on base. So at the end of 5 1/2, it's Dare County.
Crowd. And the Dare County team has not disappointed them so far.
These folks just wanted to make sure they get in our post-game show.
Emmett will be leading off for Hammond, Indiana.
Kevin Emmett stepping in. He is 0 for 2 tonight. Grounded out to the shortstop and tapped it back to the pitcher as well.
Timeout's called. Coach Creef is going to come over and have a little discussion about something, but I don't know what. I think he's trying to persuade him to move that plate to the right a foot. Or the rubber over to the left a foot. I don't know what the discussion was about.
2 balls, no strikes, and Trip Hook's still working here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Dare County 6 outs away from making big waves in Babe Ruth World Series history. Not a whole lot of host teams that competed well in this tournament.
Boy, there was a nice shot.
That's a nice pitch right there, 3-1. The count now. Definitely don't want to have any damage done in the bottom third of the lineup. But Hooks and Dare County better stay on their game, and he does with a nice strike down the middle, 3-2 now.
Hooks pitched a good game here tonight. The Minton boy who did so well in '96 for the Dare County team is really doing well for East Carolina University.
One of the top pitchers in the country.
Exactly.
3-2 offering is fouled, tipped away.
And I hear the pro scouts are really looking at the boy close. And he's a good boy, good young man.
I was going to say,
comes from a great family. Yep, got a good family.
And so we'll try a 3-2 pitch again. Nobody out here, bottom of the 6th. This one's fouled away. Right over the top of us.
I saw that.
I didn't flinch that time.
Well, I would hope not. going to bring the air conditioner tomorrow? It's the design of the building. I'll tell you about it after the game.
Okay. This one's hit back up the middle. Shortstop's on it. Rodney Harris up with it. Fires to first. David White makes the grab in time.
Boy, I didn't know if we were going to get the call or not.
So for the second time, Kevin Evans has grounded out to the shortstop.
He's grounded out 3 times altogether, hasn't he? Just hasn't been able to get enough on it.
That is the 6th opportunity for the shortstop, Rodney Harris, and he's delivered every time.
Paul Wirtz is up. He's not been on base.
No, he hasn't. He grounded out to the shortstop once. He also flied out to the center fielder one time.
Ooh, a little high and inside and had him ducking, moving out of the box.
Ball 1.
What's left of the box, I should say. Bases have taken a beating in this game, haven't they? And the lines?
They really have. It looks like, well, Edis has got a bat. I was just looking down here if Eric Edis is going to bat for himself or we're going to have a pinch hitter here in the number 8 spot. But right now we're in the number 7 spot with Wirtz. And he looks at another ball on the outside corner. 2 balls and no strikes.
And Chip Hooks looks at Toby Lewis and nods and says, yes, I understand. I've got to do a little better.
Lewis sets up on the outside corner. Here comes the pitch. It's right there, and it's a strike.
Yeah, there it is.
So it's 2-1 now on Wirtz in a ball game that Dare County has really done well in. 8-2 the score, and a swing and a miss. Or 2-2.
He may have got just a little bit of it, just a tiny touch.
So now with 1 away in the bottom of the 6th, here's the 2-2 pitch from Trip Hooks, fouled away again.
Looks like Wirtz is going to go for it if it's close. And Hammond, Indiana has got to get some runners on if they're going to stay in the game. Bottom of the 5th inning.
Three and 2. Did missed. So Hooks, who's cruised along through 15 pitches last inning, getting ready to throw his 8th pitch here, and this is going to be a ball to this batter. See what I mean? And Wirtz is lost on balls down to first base, and that brings up the number 8 hitter. And we're going to have a pinch runner come in at this point as well.
Is that the first man that Hooks has walked tonight?
Yes. Chris Spencer. So Chris Spencer over there on first base will take Paul Wirtz's spot as Wirtz, the catcher, will get some relief for running.
No, is it Wirtz or Zetas he'll be taking?
No, he pinch runner on first.
Okay.
Zetas is in the back.
Okay, I see. Spencer's on first.
Who is on first?
What don't start that. I understand. No, he's playing third.
And here is the first pitch. It's a high fastball. It misses. So Edis is ahead in the count 1-0. Mike Caston due up next, but he's not going to get a chance if it's up to him. And this one's off the shoe of the catcher. He still hasn't found it. Goes over towards the dugout. He's going to have to come up with it. He does finally, does Lewis. And so on the, I guess we'll call that a wild pitch. The runner advances to second.
Two and 0 the count. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. If you're just joining us, Dare County is taking on Hammond, Indiana from the Ohio Valley and leads 8-2.
And the runner's on second. And a high fastball misses, so it's 3-0 now to Eric Edis with a pinch hitter on deck in the number 9 spot. John Minch will come up if Edis is able to do something good, and Lewis calls time, comes over and gets the rosin bag. His hand's wet.
He knows what it's for. He's figuring on catching that boy going to third.
It would appear.
Wants a dry hand when the opportunity presents itself.
And here's a 3-0 pitch. The automatic strike is called.
And it deserved it.
Yes.
It was a beautifully thrown.
It's funny how that can happen. They got to throw a strike, and they do it almost every single time. The 3-1 fouled away. Full count suddenly. So Tripp has worked his way back to even the count and get a payoff pitch here. He'll stretch out and look for something extra on this pitch. One away. We'll see if the base runner moves. He's staying still. Here comes the 3-2. It's swung on and fouled away.
It's got the crowd moving down there on the far side.
Yeah, woke some folks up over there in the
Deep end.
secondary bleachers, if you will.
Way down the line. What how the view is from back there.
That's look pretty good from that back area where most of them are.
Not a bad seat in the house, folks. Hunt Thomas tells me that on Thursday night, Nick Nuzzi is going to sing the national anthem because it's Dairy Queen night.
That sounds fair. And here comes the 3-2 pitch again. Swung on, hit towards second. Over there is Overton. Up with it to first. In time. 2 away. The base runner does get the third. On the fielder's choice.
I think that'd be worth coming out to the game for, don't you? Hear Nick sing the national anthem.
Or to get a Dairy Queen t-shirt. And John Minch steps in. It's a pinch hit here in the number 9 position. See what we got on him. .415 batting average. He only 6'4", 225-pounder. Big strike zone.
Boy, he got that edge that time, didn't he?
Yes,
Gave
he
it
did.
to him then.
So Minch takes a strike there with 2 out here now in the bottom of the 6th inning. Little bit of trouble here for the Dare County team. Gets away from the catcher just momentarily, but he's right on top of it.
Coach is quick to come in and cover home.
And that's once again fundamentals. Goes away from your catcher, make sure you're there to cover the play at the plate.
I'd say one of the big differences here, the Dare County team really hasn't played together that long compared to the other teams that are here. They've been playing together for quite a few weeks to get here.
Take a look at that record. 45-7.
For Hammond.
Yes, this will only be the 8th loss of the year for this team.
If they should lose here this evening.
Right back to the
Wow.
Woo! Great play by the pitcher. Look what I found. I'm out of the inning. And we go to the 7th inning with Dare County still up by 6. It's 8-2.
8-2. Few folks have left the stadium. It's getting a little bit late, but it's a good crowd of people here. We had in excess of 5,000 earlier, 5,327 at one point. Of course, Hammond, Indiana will get another shot at it. They'll be the last to bat in this game. And it looks like Jake Overton, is that the man? Will be leading off for Dare County.
And Overton will step in and look at a strike as Edis works now his 3rd inning of relief. And now a ball evens the count.
Do you think they're getting a little tired, not just from playing the game, but because it's getting a little late in the night, Tim?
I'm not sure of that.
I think there's enough adrenaline there to keep them awake?
Yeah, I would say. Tell you, if Dare County wins, there may be no sleeping going on tonight in this town.
Overton really wanted that one.
Ball and 2 strikes now as he misses there. And the 1-2 is looked at for strike number 3.
Top of the lineup now for Dare County. A man that has had a couple of doubles and a hit. Had his eye on the ball all night. Rodney Walker.
11 strikeouts now for the Hammond pitching. That is the 4th strikeout for Edis. And there has been 1 strikeout at least every inning. So they've got some pitching. And there's a strike. Walker looks at that. You know, Walker is just a rising junior at Manteo High School. One of the younger players on the team at 16 years of age.
And he certainly has impressed today. Showing a lot of potential, isn't it? Calls time. I would say he really set the mode for the night with his first at-bat. Got up there, youngest guy out there. Got a hold of the ball. And again, he gets a little bit of it. See the frustration in his face when he realized it's a foul ball.
I could have had a home run if
I was playing. If I just hit it, I was happy.
That's right.
Foul, fair.
See? Yeah, I hit that one. I could see you now. Okay, so 1-2 the count now, and Rodney Walker has a little bit higher expectations than we do. And that's one of those foul tips I was telling you about, right off the umpire's inside shin. But Corby King, unfazed, throws it right back out there. We'll have another 1-2 count.
Tells Paul Wirtz, hey, boy, I'm counting on you.
That's right. You can move a little bit over this way. He works on the inside shoulder of that catcher. That exposes him a little bit. That's outside. 2-2. Justice Bobbitt on deck. And then Jamie Bonnet. Get a chance after that. Here's a fly ball. It's going to be shallow.
Going to be
Kevin Emmett coming on. He has it. 2 away. Just got under that a little bit. High ball. And Justice Bobbitt up now, who has walked twice, scored once, and struck out swinging, or struck out looking twice, I should say. So officially 0 for 2 tonight.
I say he'll be swinging this time.
Looks to the strike.
Maybe. I would think he would go down swinging.
Swung on that one, but put it out of play. So it's 0-2. I'll tell you, I bet the bottom of the 7th inning, regardless what happens here in the top, we have a lot of people on their feet.
He's going to have a little conversation with Coach William Creed. I think he told him to hit away, boy.
It's out that way. Don't look at me. 0-2.
There it is.
Does hit away, and it's a single up the center field. Right past the second baseman, Mike Caston, who come over to try to make a play on it, but he couldn't. And Mercado came in to cut it off, so it wasn't any more than a single. But Bobbitt is on the board now with his first hit of the night.
Jamie Bonnet now stepping into the batter's box. Toby Lewis in the circle. The team from northeastern North Carolina scored an awful lot of runs with 1 out. With 2 outs, rather, and 1 left.
They're chasing back to first base. Nice move there by the pitcher, Edis, but Bobbitt has his long arms. He was able to reach back. Jamie Bonnet steps in.
That's the spot. Low outside. I wonder how many pitches have been thrown there tonight.
I'll tell you, this ball game would be over if he was calling strikes on that. Once again, they chase Bobbitt back to first base.
He's just barely getting back in there.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to get too far away.
He's taking a 3-step lead. 3.5. Oh, right at us.
What are you moving for?
I swear that fence is going to give away.
Huh?
That fence looks like it's giving away.
Ball south. The other man up here covering this that didn't move.
He's got a post.
He's staring into that computer of his is what it is. He didn't see that. We're all ducking and diving. He's feeding stories to the Virginian pilot, and he's not flinched over there.
And now the 1-1 pitch will not be made. They chase Bobbitt back to first once again.
You have to call him the Iron Man.
2 outs. 1-1. Here comes the pitch again. Inside. Oh, no, it's not.
It looked pretty good, didn't it?
Yep. Okay, so Jamie Bonnet now steps in with a 1-2 count. The runner's going. It's a strike. Dropped the ball. Well, they didn't go over anyway. He struck him out.
Yep.
So Bonnet goes down.
And you did get to see his arm.
So That's out number 3. Bobbitt was trying for the steal, but it was no matter because the inning was already over by the time. Well, to give you a perspective here, looking at their scores in the tournaments getting here, in their state tournament, they didn't lose any games. The most runs they gave up were 5 runs in the championship game, 4 runs rather in the championship game. And then in the region, they went 4-1, losing only 1 game to Ohio. But other than that Ohio game they lost, the most they had given up was 3 runs. And here they've given up 8 in the first game of the World Series tonight to the host Dare County team. Trip Hooks working in there against Jose Mercado. And it's a 2-1 count to him.
But what happens when you go to bunt and you drop the bat like that? I don't know if I've ever seen that.
It's a ball because you don't have the bat in your possession. So actually a very smart play. Strike 2. Gets it across there on the outside corner. Dare County out there with pretty much the lineup that brought him here. Walker, Bobbitt, Spencer out there in the outfield. Hooks is going all the way. Taps it over to the second baseman. Overton up with it. Makes the throw, but cannot make the play. It's going to be an error on Overton. He had the ball, dropped it, came up with it, but threw it off the bag. So Mercado on with the error. And so Chris Moore, who's now playing shortstop, he was the starting pitcher tonight, but in the 5th inning moved over to shortstop, steps in. He is 2 of 3 tonight. 2 doubles on the night. Had a little bloop double in the 5th and lined it down the left field line in the 3rd. So he's shown power to both fields, if you will. The 1 strike offering, or the 1 ball offering is a strike, so it's 1-1.
Right on that outside corner.
8-2 the score. Dare County on top. Oh, hit him in the head with the curveball.
He didn't move either.
No, he didn't. He took it. Kind of leaned into it.
He saw it coming and he said, I'll take this one for the team.
You know, actually the rules of baseball say you must try to avoid the pitch, but I've never seen it called where they wouldn't give you a hit by pitch.
Yeah, you're right. He literally put his head right there in the ball.
Right. It probably would have hit him in the shoulder or something like that, but he actually kind of dipped his head into it. So now Coach William Creef goes out to talk to Trip Hooks, make sure he's not too flustered here.
And his team. It's like the bobble over there by the second baseman. It's almost too relaxed when he came over. And
so error by the second baseman and a hit by pitch has suddenly put 2 runners on here with nobody out in the bottom of the 7th. And the entire infield came to meet on home or on the pitcher's mound.
They'd like to get 3 up and 3 down and go home. I wouldn't mind joining them. It's been a long day, a lot of baseball today.
And just in case, Luke Midget down in the Dare County bullpen, getting loose. As you heard the pop in the background, Justin Hornsby looks at a strike from Trip Hooks, who's trying to go the distance. Game number 4 of the Babe Ruth World Series 16 to 18-year-old division. This one's outside, so it's 1-1. Luke Midget's got a 2-2 record in the World Series, or the Babe Ruth competition coming into this ball game. Outside corner is a strike. 1-2.
And he still got right much on the ball.
Matt Mamuel on deck. Of course, he's the home run threat for this Hammond team. But right now it's Hornsby fouling it away. It'll still be 1-2.
There's not a breath of wind out there. I don't know how high the humidity is, but the flags are all laying right alongside the poles now.
And the 1-2 again. Hits him. No, he called it. He called it that time, Ken.
Yes, sir,
he said, you didn't get out of the way. I'm not going to give you that. He sure did. But now Sokowski's coming over to talk to the umpire.
That's the second time it's happened, too.
Now he's saying
Clearly hit him. I don't think the umpire believes it didn't hit him. Is that what the argument is?
I don't know. But he did.
Kowski's taking him by the arm saying, see it hit him right here.
He stepped right into it.
And I think we both believe, like what we said a minute ago, that you got to make an effort to get out of the way of the pitch. And he did not. In fact, he leaned into it.
It wasn't like he was taking a swing or anything, you know.
Yeah.
Time to go back to the outside corner.
So 2-2. And it misses, so 3-2 the count. Dare County playing back. They'll trade out here for advancing the runners, it would appear. This one's driven foul. Nobody out. Bottom of the 7th. Dare County leads Hammond, Indiana, 8-2. The host team trying to make some waves in this tournament. And Trip Hooks, who's gone all the way with a 3-2 pitch. Down the middle to the third baseman. Double play ball. Steps on third to run. Cross the first. Safe.
Just too much difference between where he had to get that ball and where that runner was.
Yep. I was thinking he may flip it towards second, but he had to take about 4 steps over to third base to make the tag. And then he had too far to throw, did Jamie Bonnet.
Hornsby was making too much time going down there. He's a good base runner. Obviously, that hit pitch didn't slow him down any.
Yeah. So Mercado is retired 5 unassisted. And Hornsby reaches on a fielder's choice. And a strike is called to the next batter, Matt Namuwa. With 1 away now, and the base runners on first and second. And Hooks watches this fly over the right field fence, over the light stanchion. Boy, did he hit that ball. Man, Namuwa turned on that ball like you would not believe, and suddenly a 3-run home run has changed the complexion of this ball game completely.
Well, we won't have to worry about the base runners. Did he ever pull that baseball? That's one I wouldn't mind watching over again.
Whew.
He really came around on that thing solid.
And I was interested to see William Creek took 3 steps out of the dugout towards the pitcher's mound, and Trip Hooks, the pretty mild-mannered kid, looked at him and said, "Get back in there. I'm finishing this." And he turned around and went back in the dugout. So still 1 away here, bottom of the 7th. It's a 3-run game now. Dare County on top, 8-5. And it's low. 2 balls to Jeff Nelson. Kevin Emmett would be on deck, looking for a chance if he can do good. 2 balls, no strikes. Outside corner. Nope. 3 balls and no strikes. Gotta believe this may be the last batter for Trip Hooks if he can't get him out. You can't let him lose the game. And he misses. Ball 4. Here comes Coach Creek. And he's going to call Luke Midget in for relief. So 8-5 the score, 1 away, bottom of the 7th. Stay tuned. Still some excitement left here as you're listening to the 1998 Babe Ruth World Series on the Win 47. Dare County's got to be thinking double play now, Ken. Let's just get out of here.
Without a doubt, they need 2 more, and they want to go home and take a break. They've got to come back tomorrow if they win.
They'll play in the 4 o'clock game if they win. The loser plays Monday at 5:30. The winner plays tomorrow at 4. David White bringing the left-handed strike in on that outside corner.
And with a lot of speed. He's done a good job on first, but he hasn't had to throw the ball that much.
This one, a little high. Waited to see.
Not much.
Right in that range where he's been calling strikes before, but maybe a little high. So 2-1, one out. Base runner on first. And 3-1 now.
Just about took the glove off of Lewis.
That whooping and hollering you're hearing is not the Dare County team. It's the team in Indiana trying to get some momentum. They're down by 3, bottom of the 7th. They've already got 3 on the board on a momentous homer. This one's a fly ball that's going to be called for by the right fielder, David Spencer, coming in to make the play, and 2 away now in the bottom of the 7th. And Paul Wirtz, the catcher, is the last hope for Hammond, Indiana.
David White would prefer not to throw many pitches this evening.
A little ground ball to Trip Hooks would be perfect to end this ball game. Let him finish it himself. Here comes the first offering. Outside corner. Strike 1. A lot of people on their feet here cheering every pitch. White's been working for from the stretch. He steps away from the rubber. Stretches out, looks the runner back to first, comes with a pitch. This one's driven, left or right center field. Here comes the play, and it's gone by David Spencer. And Dare County, the unlikely host team, has defeated the Ohio Valley champions 8-5 in game number 4. And there is celebration going on in the field, Mr. Mann.
Without a doubt, that has got to be one happy ball club. And that's the kind of victory they need to give them the mental game. They knew when they came in here what they were up against. And now they've proven that they can play with them. And they did hit the ball well, but a lot of errors contributed to their victory. There's no question about that. We'll go over how the game, and how am I trying to say? How the game developed. Transpired. There's a good word. When we come back, you're listening to the 1998 Babe Ruth World Series on Carolina 92.